We're in. Don't mind me just putting. Where'd that go? That's fine. Okay. Welcome, welcome. I got some stuff I got to do. Let's switch this camera for a second. There we go. Back it up to the ultra wide. I left off. I got some resin in the pressure pot that we need to open up and see what's going on inside of there. First, I got to get some Kydex ready. And if anybody was on here from yesterday, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the oh, Hawkslings, what's up? I'm getting ready to pull, well, this is just Kydex, but I'm getting ready to pull the stuff I poured yesterday. I don't know if you were there in the morning to see the scales I poured yesterday morning. I got to pull those out of the pressure pot so I can see if they turned out or not. We're going to find out. I wasn't joined on the scales. All right. Well, that's okay. I poured some live. I poured some scales specifically that everyone chose that was on the live. So that's why I'm like, well, I should pull those out. I was waiting for some people to join, get a chance for them to join up before I pulled them. Right now, I'm just prepping for some Kydex. Because I want to glue those scales up. The scales I poured, or I made for the cleaver. You saw that one, I'm pretty sure. I definitely want to get those scales glued up today. And the cleaver will be done today, which will be epic. And with those wood burnt scales and everything, it's going to be so sweet. How many layers is that? Just lost count. Pretty sure it's 2. Is that 2? I need 3. I need 3! Let's get those 3 on there. Beautiful. There we go. Now it's starting. People are starting to show up, so. It's crazy when you're like a minute in and it doesn't have people on there yet. All right, I'm gonna pull those scales. We're gonna do it. So I poured scales on the live yesterday. They're in the pressure pot. I'm gonna pull these babies out of here and you're gonna get the first look. What's the hardest steel you've ever worked with? S45 VN stainless steel is the hardest steel I've ever worked with. Or do you mean temperamental steel or like physically hardest, like wear resistance? Because there's a difference. There's steel that's harder to work with, and then there's steel that's just temperamental. But I'd say it's S45 VN, and then ABL. And then any of the high carbons. High carbons are a lot easier to work with than the stainless steels, for sure. Okay. Ooh. You guys ready for this? As I say, stay safe while working, dude. I definitely will. We're about to find out what this looks like. This is a very interesting pour. So, for those of you on here, I made a mold of burnt charcoal, of actual charcoal. And the mold is inside of here. So I poured silicone over burnt wood, which you can see right here is burnt wood. So I poured silicone over that. Even that's burnt wood up there, charcoal. Poured silicone over that, pulled the silicone off, and now when I want stuff to have the texture of charcoal, of burnt wood, I have a mold for it. And this is the mold. And we're about to see, yesterday on my live, with your guys' suggestion, I poured a certain color scheme for this build. And now I'm about to get this open. It is definitely not perfectly straight, but that's okay. So I had some, break the edges. Okay, we're gonna get the first look. I gotta try and get the, there we go. This is gonna be a satisfying part. So this is a silicone. Kind of feels like I'm peeling an egg white or something. What that could be used for. Okay, this is going to be scales. So this is so it has the texture of charcoal, but it has the stability of resin. So like I said, this was on the live. Everybody chose what they wanted color scheme wise. And what I mean by that is, right now, this is black and this is the outside, but on the inside, it's actually copper color and purple. So look at that. And I'll grind into it and I'll show you. So this literally looks and feels just like charcoal, burnt wood, a torched chunk of wood, without it being a torched chunk of wood. So see, this is the mold I pulled off. And this is the finish. But the cool part is not this top layer. This top layer is black, which is pretty neat. But what's even cooler is what lies on this part. And I'm going to go grind this really quick so you guys can see. Because the charcoal part is the top, but what's really neat is the whole inside is colored. First thing I got to do though is I got to turn on dust collector. All right. Let's go grind this so I can reveal the side and you'll be able to see. Well, actually, I don't even need to grind it. I can just cut it. Ha! Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Now, let's go grind this really quick. We'll spray a little acetone on there, or an alcohol. Okay, here we go. So now here comes the reveal. This is going to be pretty sweet. Get all that off of there. It's going to look good. Oh, that's cool. Let's change this view. Oh, I gotta be able to get it to focus. Hold on. Hold on. So there's purple and copper inside of it. So the top looks just like charcoal, and then the inside is a purple and copper blend. If I can get this thing to just chill out for a second. So as I grind away, it will end up looking like that on the inside. So this will be the finish for some of the scales. But yeah, turned out really good. I'm really excited about it. I think it's pretty sick. The color's rad. Just got to make sure that's nice and clean. But it's going to be different the whole way through. That's super cool. This is resin. So this is a resin that I poured. I made a mold of charcoal wood. So essentially what happened was, imagine if this was the charcoal piece of wood, I put walls on there and I poured liquid silicone on it, pulled the silicone off, and now when I pour whatever I pour on here, I just take it off like so, and I'm left with that exact texture. But the beauty of it is this is resin, so it'll never break down over time. And then you have whatever colors you put in the back are what's going to stay. But this thing is not fully cured yet, so I'm going to have to let it fully cure. But I'm pretty stoked. That's rad. This will be cleaned up. It'll look so sweet. Oh, it's going to look so good. But yeah, so there's that. The other ones I have are these ones, but this is real burnt wood. Like that's actual charcoal. And I put color shifting pigment on it, and those are scales that I made. Can you make a glow-in-the-dark baby shark knife? Yeah, I could. So this is genuine burnt wood inside of here with color shifting pigment. You can see it goes from like a dark green, then it'll shift to a purple. But now I'm working on the sheath so I can glue those scales up, and the sheath is right here. It's for a cleaver. Right now I need to do one more layer of tape, and then I can press a sheath for this, and then we can glue the handles up. And this knife will be ready to be done, finished and sharpened. And this is going to be for this Friday's drop. So $500 right now. $500 for the one with the real burnt wood. That one's going to be just a little bit more, not much, but a little bit more than $5. Just because that's not like a replica. That is genuine burnt wood. Oh, it's going to look so good on this cleaver though. I'm so excited to see it finished. But the first thing I got to do before I can glue those scales on is you got to make a sheath for it, because, well, if you don't have a sheath for your knife, what's the point? And you're just walking around with a knife without a sheath. It's pretty pointless. And take a lot of pride